Hey there, Dwayne. Hope all is well. I was just trying to get the link posted onto the Facebook page so that people could be made aware of the broadcast. Appreciate you joining me. It is time. Game 4. Cardinals and Expos. Let's get this baby rolling here. Again, from Bank of Montreal Park. This is a fictional stadium that was created. The stadium designer, while great in MLB The Show, there wasn't a good Olympic stadium because it doesn't let you make domes. And somebody did a good-looking model of Jarry Park, which is where the Expos first played. But I played a few games there in testing, and the place seemed like a launching pad. So I decided not to use that. So I ended up using this fictional stadium. It's the only fictional park in the Franchise Stars Baseball League as the home for the Montreal Expos. So we will go to Bank of Montreal Park. Hit the wrong button there, sorry. For this Game 4, Max Scherzer and Bob Gibson are going to go on 3 days rest. The Cardinals thought about going with Howie Pollitt to take this Game 4 start, saving Gibson for a Game 5 if necessary. They decided against that. They're going to start Gibson on the short rest and try to get this closed out. Scherzer goes on short rest as well. Game 1 of this series was a 1-0 Cardinals win with this same pitching matchup. Max Scherzer was exceptional over 7 innings of 1-run ball. Only problem for him, Bob Gibson threw a complete game 2-hit shutout, and the Cardinals took Game 1. Expos took Game 2 behind Steven Strasburg, but the Cardinals came up with the 7-0 rout here in Game 3 behind Ted Breitenstein, home runs from Honus Wagner and Ray Langford, and 3 RBIs from Ripper Collins. So now it's Scherzer and Gibson again. If you get anything like Game 1, we will be in for a fine matchup. Glad to be coming to you live here. Actually working from home today, and it's a slow day, so I'm going to be able to bang this broadcast out. Later on tonight, 8 p.m. on the channel, you see Scherzer finishing up his warm-ups. 8 p.m. will be Game 3 of the ALDS series, as the Oakland A's will try to close out the California Angels. The series goes to Anaheim. A's up 2-0 there. A's best team in the league, 111 wins during the regular season. Here's Ozzie Smith. He will start things off for the Cardinals against Max Scherzer, who's ready for the first pitch. Time to get underway. Scherzer fires. Smith tries to bunt his way on. Zimmerman charges, barehanded play, throw to first, and he gets him. Nice job there by Ryan Zimmerman, charging in from third. Here you'll see the Cardinals lineup: Smith, Drew, and Hornsby, Mize, Edmonds, and Langford, Boyer, Collins, and Molina. The middle part of that order, 2 through 5, hasn't done much in this series, actually. Ripper Collins and Ray Langford, however, have both been really solid. Here's J.D. Drew. Drew 2 for 12 through the first 3 games. First pitch from Scherzer misses. Fastball there, misses down low. Scherzer behind, Drew 2-0 to open things up here. Drew swings, chops it out to third, not hit hard. Zimmerman comes in on it, makes the throw to LaRoche at first, and there are 2 men down. So Zimmerman getting the work early on the first 2 assists. Here's Rogers Hornsby. Hornsby only 182 in the series. It's 2 for 11. He did break out, though, with a mammoth home run in Game 3. Change up from Scherzer, in there for a strike. Scherzer back up on the hill. Delivers, fastball down low, 1-1 the count. Good change up there. That one had some dive to it. Hornsby swings and misses badly out of the zone, 1-2. Scherzer gets the sign and delivers. Hornsby, hot smash to third. One hopper by Zimmerman. So 3 shots, 3 plays by Zimmerman. Cardinals go down in order. Good first inning for Scherzer. Expos now will come up bottom of the first. Game 4 of the National League Division Series. Cardinals nothing. Expos coming up. And here on the hill, Bob Gibson. Gibson's first outing on opening day, on the opener of this series. Game 1, the complete game, 2-hit shutout as we mentioned. Walked 3, struck out 6. Big Clue has joined us. How are you, sir? Hope all is well. Jose Vidro will lead things off for the Expos. Slider in there for a called strike. The other half of the National League Championship Series has been set, and it broadcast on the channel late last night. The San Francisco Giants closed out the New York Mets with an 8-3 victory. Carl Hubble, going on the short rest, was exceptional for the Giants. Pitched into the ninth, made it 8 2/3. They did have to bring in Drew Marquardt to close that one out. And a check swing, swing from Vidro finds the hole through the right side for a base hit. Gibson rode that slider in on him. Not a pretty swing there from Vidro, but it finds the hole. And if you're an Expos fan, you're hoping that's a sign of the good fortune to come here in this one. Hubble dominated the Mets. The Giants jumped all over David Cone, who was also going on 3 days rest. Cone was blitzed for 5 runs in the first inning. Cone never retired a batter. R.A. Dickey kept them in it with good bullpen work, but the Mets didn't score until that 9th inning, and the Mets season has come to a close. So now the Giants sit and wait to see what happens here. Gibson ahead of Spike Owen, 0-2. Owen slashes one foul. That one's down in the dirt. It's ball 4 anyway. The ball looked like it shot away from Molina. So it's first and second, nobody out. Here's Bryce Harper. Line shot past Smith, who is shading towards second. Runner comes around third. Vidro comes around. He's going to score, and it is a run on the board for the Expos here in the first against Bob Gibson with second and third and nobody out. So an excuse me single from Vidro, a walk, and then Harper, with Smith shading towards the middle, shoots one past him. So now we'll see if Gibson can work his way to minimize the damage here as he faces Andre Dawson. Slider misses away for ball 1. Again, the Cardinals thought about starting Howie Pollitt in this game and saving Gibson for Game 5, but they decided they didn't want to mess with it. Gibson said he could go. They decided to start Gibby here in this one. Dawson locked up there. They say he went. Count goes to 1-1. Dawson walks a few paces to avoid yelling at the umpire. Gibson from the set. Down in the dirt, blocked by Molina, runners will hold. 2-1 the count to Dawson. Fastball up high, 3-1. Rusty Staub waits on deck for the Expos. Gibson fires, ball 4 outside. So Gibson scuffling a bit here in this first inning. Again, Gibson brilliant with the 2-hit shutout in Game 1. It is not coming that easily here. Fastball called strike there to stop. It's ahead of him 0-1. You can double up Rusty if you can get him to put a ball on the ground. See if Gibson can minimize the damage. Change up, fouled off by Staub. Gibson's ahead 0-2. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to second. Hornsby goes to Smith at short. Throw on to first. 4-6-3. They'll concede the run there. Nicely turned by Hornsby and Smith. The Expos take a 2-0 lead, but a huge double play on the ground out by Staub. Hornsby looked like he wasn't going to try to go for the double play. Almost looked like he glanced and saw how far Staub still had a run, decided to turn it. Not sure if Ozzie called for him to make that throw to second. But it proves to be a good move. They get the double play. 2 outs, runner on third for Moises Alou. Fly ball to right. Carries pretty well, but Drew is under it. Puts it away, and the side is retired. But the Expos strike for 2 off of Gibson here in the first. That's how many hits they had in the entire first game. We head to the top of the second. Mize, Edmonds, and Langford come up for the Cardinals. They trail it 2-0. So in steps Johnny Mize. Mize 1 for 12 in the series. He's got a couple of walks to go along with that. Scherzer deals. Fastball on the corner for strike 1. You see Mize, 42 homers, if I remember right, on the season. It was in the 40s. 984 OPS. Terrific season for Mize. Scherzer looks in. Gets his sign. 1-1 pitch. Mize fly ball to right. Harper takes a few steps in. He's under it. Puts it away for out number 1. So the Expos continue to handle Mize well so far in this series. Here's Jim Edmonds. Edmonds 1 for 10. He has been dealt with well as well. The Expos have pitched fine. They've been shut out twice. I shouldn't say that because they were... Javier Vasquez got dinged up in Game 3 in the 7-0 defeat. But the offense has really been the problem for Montreal, and shut out 2 of the first 3 games. It's Ted Breitenstein shut them down in Game 3. Slider misses away, counts 1-1. Change up down in the dirt, 2-1 the count. If the Expos are able to win this game and force a Game 5, Steven Strasburg would get the start from Montreal at Busch Stadium, presumably. Steve Rogers would also be an option, but Strasburg pitched well in Game 2, and he will be on full rest. Popped up. LaRoche underneath it. Puts it away for out number 2. For the Cardinals, it gets a little bit more complicated. Howie Pollard, as we mentioned, was a consideration to start this game as Ray Langford steps in. Langford has been red hot, batting .500 in the series with a pair of home runs. Pollard was a consideration to start this game. They elected to go with Gibson on the short rest to try to close it out. Max Lanier, it would be his turn in the rotation. He would be on full rest. But Lanier did not pitch well in the Game 2 loss for the Cardinals. So you might see the Cardinals elect to go with Pollard over Lanier should this go to a Game 5. Another pop-up, LaRoche underneath it again, puts it away, and the side is retired. So Scherzer is retired, the first 6 to face him. We head to the bottom of the second. Zimmerman, LaRoche, and Ramos coming up for the Expos, who lead it 2-0. Zimmerman 273 in the series with a homer. Ground ball through the right side. Hornsby lays out. Nice play, Rogers Hornsby. Throws Zimmerman out, and there's one away. Good range into the hole by Hornsby to rob Ryan Zimmerman of a base hit. Nicely done. So one down, that brings up Adam LaRoche. LaRoche gets the start at first base against the righty. Even though they're both lefties, Nick Johnson plays against lefties for the most part. LaRoche gets the starts against the righties. So he gets the luck of Bob Gibson. 1-0 offering, LaRoche fouls it back. Slider misses down low. Count goes to 2-1. If y'all get an opportunity, check out Dwayne March's YouTube network channel. Dwayne has some good Milwaukee Braves stuff going on there as they played the Dodgers, a broadcast earlier on today on his channel. So be sure to give him a like and a follow and take a listen. Dwayne does a terrific job with his stuff. 2-2 pitch here from Gibson. LaRoche skies it out to center. Edmonds shades over a little bit. He's there. Puts it away for out number 2. So that'll bring up Wilson Ramos. Ramos 1 for 10 so far in the series. He's got an RBI. Steps in to face Gibson. Curveball in there for a strike. Of course, Dwayne, no problem. Glad to do it, man. Appreciate you checking out my stuff as frequently as you do. These playoffs have been a blast to do, but it's always a heck of a lot more fun when you got other people watching and chatting along with you. 1-1 the count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Another slider misses down low. Dave Little, how are you, sir? Thanks for checking in. It is good to see you. I hope all is well. Hopefully anybody is in here, although I figure you probably know Dave's channel. Be sure to check it out anyway. Pop on by and check what Dave has going on. Jose Vidro waits on deck. Count is full, 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Another one in the dirt, and Ramos draws the walk. Gibson is trying to work low in the zone a lot early on here, and he seems to be having a little bit of problem locating his stuff. So here's Jose Vidro. Vidro led off the game with an excuse me check swing single through the right-hand side. He later came around to score the first run on the ball game. The Expos got 2 off Gibson in the first. Flies this one to center. Edmonds is right there. Puts it away, and the side is retired. So the Expos strand a runner. We head to the top of the third. Boyer, Collins, and Molina coming up for the Cardinals. They trail 2-0. Here's Ken Boyer, 4 for 11 to this point in the series. Scherzer's retired the first 6 to face him. Fastball in there for a called strike. Boyer played every game of the regular season. Cardinals had a lot of really good health this season, helped them out a long way. In a league like this, a healthy team certainly has a huge advantage. As I imagine is the case with any league, but particularly a league of this kind of nature. Scherzer ahead of Boyer 0-2. High fastball, fly ball to right. Harper comes on, Vidro goes out. Vidro is going to be the one to play it. A little bit surprisingly, that's probably an easier play for Harper. But Vidro tracks it down. And there's one away. Here's Ripper Collins, and Collins has been on fire, batting .500 through the first 3 games of this series. 3 RBIs in the 7-0 Game 3 win for the Cardinals. It's been a doubles machine. Scherzer starts him off with a strike. That one comes up and in, counts 1-1. Scherzer collects himself, back on the mound, ready to work again. Curveball. Collins goes and chases. That one was a bit low. He fouls it off, and the count's now 1-2. Again tonight at 8 p.m. here on the channel. It's Game 3 of the ALDS as Collins is struck out by Scherzer. That's the first strikeout for Max. 8 p.m. it'll be the A's and the Angels in the American League Division Series. The A's will try to close out California in that one, as they lead that series 2-0. A's swept both games, pair of one-run games in Oakland. Andy Messersmith will go for the Angels in that one. Tim Hudson will make the start for the A's. Again, late last night here on the channel, San Francisco Giants punched their ticket to the National League Championship Series with an 8-3 win over the Mets to win that series in 4 games. Fly ball to right down the line. That's a dunker. That's going to fall in. So a bloop base hit for Yadi Molina. He drops one down the right field line. It's the first base runner for the Cardinals. Loop down into no man's land for the base hit. So here's Ozzie Smith. Smith 0 for 1. Smith tried to bunt his way on in the first unsuccessfully. A nice play by Ryan Zimmerman to throw him out. Smith lines this one into center. That's a base hit. Molina does not run well. He's going to hold up at second. Smart move there as Andre Dawson fires a strike in the third. So now the Cardinals have 2 men on, and that will bring up J.D. Drew. So Drew is 0 for 1. Scherzer, his first trouble of the game. We'll see how he navigates it. Fastball comes inside for ball 1. Johnny Mize waits on deck, hoping for a chance to break out of his slump in the series in a big way. Drew, shot out to left. That's carrying, going back on it though is Alou. He tracks it down, puts it away, and the shot inside is retired. So Drew put a bit of a charge into that one, but Alou had him played well. We head to the bottom of the third. Expos still lead the Cardinals 2-0. Here's Spike Owen. Oh, so that's what. So Owen didn't walk in the first. I thought that ball shot off of him weird. I was wondering why they didn't have Molina chasing it. He was actually hit by a pitch. That explains that a little bit better. Apologize for mangling the play-by-play then in that sequence. Pop up here to shallow center. Hornsby goes out and tracks it down for the out. One away, in steps Bryce Harper. Harper keeping up his incredible regular season. He's 6 for 13 in this series. Had an RBI single his first time up. That one shot foul. Out to left. 44 homers for Harper. Also in the top 10 in RBIs. Rips that one, but Mize, nice play. Johnny Mize down at first. Harper hit that one on the screws, and Mize makes a nice snag on it of the line out. There's 2 away. Here's Andre Dawson. Dawson 300 so far in the series. Walked in the first. Dawson has not driven in a run as of yet. Again, the Expos were shut out in 2 of the first 3 games in this series. The game when they scored runs, they won. Gibson seems to have settled down a bit after the shaky first inning. Still getting hit a little bit harder, though, Just the outs are a little bit harder than they were in that game one. Game one, there wasn't even a test, really. Gibson with a complete game 2-hit shutout in that one. Lazy fly ball out to right here. Drew's underneath it. Puts it away and the side is retired. So we are a third of the way through here in Montreal. Cardinals trying to finish off the Expos. Expos trying to force a Game 5. Hornsby, Mize, and Edmonds coming up for the Cardinals. I think I mistakenly said that Mize was on deck there at the end of the last inning. I forgot. Mize is hitting 4th. Hornsby hits in the 3-hole. So here's Rogers Hornsby. Steps in. He's 0 for 1. First pitch. Hornsby fouls it off down the right side. Christopher Slovic has joined us. Chris, how are you, sir? It is great to see you. I hope all is well. This stadium, it's called Bank of Montreal Park. The stadium creator in MLB The Show is great, but it's got a couple of limitations. One of them is that you can't create a domed stadium. So you can't really create Olympic Stadium. Somebody had made Jarry Park, which is where the Expos played their first, I don't know if it was just their first season or their first 2 seasons. But the Expos started out in Jarry Park, and the model looks great as Hornsby goes down. Nice slider there from Scherzer to freeze him for his second strikeout. And Jarry Park looked okay, but I did a few sim games there, and the place played like a launching pad. So maybe it was just coincidence or something, but I didn't want to chance it messing up the league results and stuff. This stadium is really, really well done. I don't know if this was based, if the user, and I should get his name so I can put it on my Facebook page or something just to give him a shout out, because I like to do that. But I don't know if this is based on a template, like a model, a proposed park for if a team ever, if baseball ever went back to Montreal, or if he just made this off of the top of his head. But it's a really nice looking park. It plays well, so I decided to put the Expos here instead. It's got a bridge in the background. The skyline looks real good. It's just really, really well done. 1-2 the count as Scherzer works to Mize. Loop down the left field line. Long run from Moises Alou. He's not going to get there, and Mize dunks in a base hit down the left field line for a 1-out single. I just felt this is the only fictional park that's in the league. But I just, because Montreal has changed cities too, and I didn't want to use the Nationals. I wanted to use the Expos. So, like, for Seattle, I couldn't create Kingdome. So I just left them in Safeco, or T-Mobile, or whatever it's called now. And I left the Astros because I couldn't create the Astrodome. People have done it, and they basically just say, oh, we'll just play it as a night game, and it looks like a dome. But it doesn't look right, because they also don't offer, the other thing they don't offer in MLB The Show, I don't know if that changed for 23, but in this version, in 22, they also don't offer those old cookie-cutter, base cutout turf infields that you would find in a domed stadium, particularly like the 80s domed stadiums. So you can't create those kind of dome stadiums. There's no proper dome, and there's no turf. So they're kind of 0 for 2 there, which is a bit frustrating. It seems like a huge oversight to me. You have to know that if people are going to use a stadium creator, that they're going to want to make historic parks. So that's just kind of a typical Sony 95% great, 5% what the heck are you doing kind of thing. 2-2 the count to Edmonds. Mize on first, 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Scherzer comes inside with the fastball and misses. Full count. Ray Langford, who's been swinging a hot bat, waits on deck. The show does have classic ballparks, Clue. Actually, it has a bunch of them. It has Edmonds flies out to center. Dawson puts it away. Like the Pirates play at Forbes Field. At Shibe Park is there. Crosley is there. So, they have Sportsman's Park is actually there also. So they have a bunch of them. They could have a lot more, and I feel like they should have a lot more. But Yeah, no, they have them. Just none of the teams that play in those made the postseason here. But yeah, like I think I did a Pirates broadcast of them during the regular season of them playing from Forbes Field. Um, and they did a great job with Forbes Field too. Actually, they did a really good job with Crosley also. 0-1 the count to Langford. Ground ball to short. Owen has it. He'll go the short way to Vidro. Force the runner out, and the Cardinals are turned aside. So we head to the bottom of the fourth. Expos lead the Cardinals 2-0. Right, yeah. Clue mentions not the cookie cutters. Yeah, with none of those 80s parks. And it's not just that they don't have them. It's it's also that you can't make them. And the reason why that's incredibly stupid to me, as Gibson works to Staub here to open the bottom of the fourth, is because they have the Metrodome in the game. The Metrodome is one of the classic parks that they have. So you have the turf template with the cutout bases already in the game. Just let me access it. Just let me access it, and we can make Riverfront and Three Rivers and the Vet. Although I don't know why anybody won't make the Vet, because that place was a dump. But you could still make the Vet if you wanted to. It's just like that. That's the part that makes no sense. You have the turf in the game already because the Metrodome is there. So it's just that's the kind of stuff that's just silly. It's like the my friends on the there are guys who do as Moises Alou steps in here. Right, Old Bush is another one. Yeah, that's a good remember. Cause I don't even think of Bush as having turf now because Bush has had the pseudo fake kind of sort of grass for so long. But yeah, Bush was the old cookie cutter park also. But it's so frustrating, the stuff that the show gets. They're little things, but they're not. And I guess, again, I know that most people don't play the game the way that I do. I get that. You aren't seeing people here, broadcasting their games that much and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't expect them to niche it for me. But from a stadium creation standpoint, if you're going to offer the stadium creator, just do it. Well, the Oakland Coliseum, I guess that park has changed a little bit. But, that's still, because Oakland Coliseum is in the game. And the candlestick model that I use for the Giants, again, I didn't create the stadiums. I am not good at creating the stadiums. So someday I may invest time in trying to learn how to be better at it. But I am not good at that, and there are people who are a lot better at it than I am. I will stick to hammering down ratings and rosters and stuff like that. But the Candlestick Park model I find to be a really solid attempt at creating Candlestick. The other problem that their stadium creator has, not to go too much on this topic, but the shape of the park, like the foul territory, really can't be edited. As Alou smacks one into right, just out of the reach of a diving Johnny Mize. It's a one-out single for Moises Alou. Lost my train of thought there. I apologize. Well, totally left me. Totally left me what I was just talking about there. The foul territory area. Every park basically has the same foul territory. So, you couldn't create a park and give it the small foul area at, a Yankee Stadium or down the line at Fenway, or the massive foul territory of Oakland Coliseum. You couldn't do that. They're all the same. And that really jumped out at the county stadium model that somebody created. Overall is a really nice county stadium model, but the foul territory is nothing like the foul territory at county. And just come on, let me play with that. Let me move the foul lines a bit and the bleachers a bit. So I don't know if that improved for 23, but in 22 that was one of the limitations of it. Again, I'll probably get 23 at some point. It just didn't make any sense for me. I had already created, like I said, I was 1,000 players deep into creating this project at that point. I wasn't going to start from scratch again. Yes. Sony is short-sighted about certain things, and the park thing is one of them. It's like you come up with this great concept. You have to see through how people are going to use this great concept that you've come up with. Anyway. 1 out, first and second. Here's Adam LaRoche. We'll get back to the game and not me being grumpy about stupid stadium things. This park is great, though. I'm happy to play the Expos in this park. I don't feel like I'm losing anything. This is a really well done stadium by the creator. Fastball misses down low. And let's face it, when you have Bob Gibson pitching against Max Scherzer, it's all fictional anyway. So it's LaRoche down the left field line, slices foul. But it does frustrate me when, I'm actually less frustrated by things done poorly than things that are done for the most part really well and have stupid errors. And Gibson's slider rides in on LaRoche, and now Gibson's got a bit of an issue. Bases stacked, 1 out. Wilson Ramos steps up. Ramos is an absolute double play threat. He's one of the slowest guys in the league, but he's also got good gap power that could change this game in a hurry. Fastball in there for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Alou on third, Zimmerman on second, LaRoche on first. Gibson has by no means been bad, but he has not been the dominant starter he was in Game 1. Curveball there, misses away. Gibson sets, delivers. Fastball, I don't know what Ramos was looking for. That's a fastball pretty much right down the heart, and Gibson's ahead of Ramos 1-2. There's a shot, Ramos foul. Almost whacks the first base umpire, who has to duck out of the way. If I'm Gibson, I'm throwing a slider away here. Make Ramos go fish. Does go slider away, goes down in the dirt. Good job by Molina to stop that one from getting past. Counts 2-2. Shot down the right field line and foul. So Ramos trying to hang tough with Gibson here. This could be a very big at-bat in this game. Gibson deals. Ground ball to second. Hornsby has it. Throws to Smith. Smith on to first. 4-6-3. Gibson gets the double play and gets out of the inning. Second double play turned by the Cardinals. Gibson makes the big pitch when he has to. We are through 4 here in Montreal. Cardinals trail the Expos 2-0. Cardinals going for the clinch. Expos trying to force a Game 5. Huge pitch there from Gibson. And now here's Ken Boyer against Max Scherzer, and Scherzer has been on his game in this one. First pitch, fastball, Boyer holds up, but it's a called strike anyway. Boyer 3 hits in Game 3. Fly ball to center, hit pretty well. Dawson going back on it, tracks it down. And Dawson catches it a couple strides shy of the warning track. It's a long, loud out for Ken Boyer. There's one away here in the top of the 5th. So that'll bring up Ripper Collins. Collins 0 for 1. Sorry, I just had a work email I just had to take a peek at. Collins fouls one off down the left side. So Scherzer is ahead of Collins, 0-2. Collins has been exceptional for the Cardinals in this series. And another slider chews him up. Scherzer got him with that last time. Does it again here. Third strikeout for Scherzer. Talk about movement. Big break inside. Beautiful pitch from Scherzer. Collins goes down swinging, and there are 2 away. It is hard to make a hitter as good as Ripper Collins look that bad, but Scherzer's done it to him twice. Here's Yadier Molina. Molina hit a bloop single his first time up. Slow roller here to Vidro. Makes the play, throws him out, and the side is retired. So Scherzer continues to cruise. We're midway through here in Montreal. Vidro, Owen, and Harper coming up for the Expos. They lead the Cardinals 2-0. Here's Jose Vidro. Vidro 1 for 2. He singled and scored back in the first. Check swing, kind of excuse me punch job right through the hole on the right-hand side. First pitch. That one's hit a little harder in that spot. Diving stop by Hornsby. And Hornsby with he's made 3 or 4 terrific defensive plays. Both double plays he's started have been difficult. And this is his second diving stop to rob a hit. He did it to Zimmerman earlier. Gets Vidro here. And there's 1 away. Here's Spike Owen. Slider misses away, 1-0. I would be remiss if I did not mention, please go and check out Mr. Christopher Slovik's channel. Chris always has good stuff going. He's got some college football stuff going right now. Bernard, there is no need to apologize, sir. I greatly appreciate you stopping in as always. I hope your errands proved fruitful. But I appreciate you checking in. We got another good one going here. Gibson has been scuffling a little bit. Allowed 2 runs in the first. He's kept the Expos at bay since then, thanks to a pair of double plays. Slider there, misses down and in. Max Scherzer has been outstanding. Again, both of them on 3 days rest. Gibson dealing to Owen, 2-2. Fastball blows him away. Strikeout there. And that's the first strikeout that Gibson's recorded in this one. The right fielder, number 34. I feel like he actually has not thrown a ton of fastballs. He's thrown a bunch of curveballs, a bunch of sliders. But Gibson hasn't been relying on the heat that much. Not sure if he was trying to kind of conserve energy a bit. But he blows Owen away there. Now goes to the gas there to Harper. Misses up and in. Christopher's a legend, man. Chris and Al, Red Sox fan, were the first 2 guys I heard doing this that gave me the idea of wanting to. Harper hits this one well. Deep to left center field. It's a 1-hopper off the wall. Edmonds plays it well, gets the throw in, but Bryce Harper has a loud 2-out double to the wall in center. And now the Expos have a runner in scoring position, and once again, Gibson's going to have to work through it. Harper has been outstanding this whole series. The capper for what may very well be an MVP season for him. Here's Andre Dawson. Dawson is 0 for 1. He's got a few hits. He's got no RBIs, though, in the series. He was robbed of a home run in Game 3 by Jim Edmonds out in center. .1-0 pitch, slider in there for a called strike. Jesse Haynes and Bill Doak throwing in the Cardinal bullpen. As long as this game is close, if they try to take Bob Gibson out of this game, there might be a homicide. Slider in there for a called strike. It's 1-2. Again, Gibson did throw a ton of pitches in Game 1. He is on 3 days rest, we realize that. But Bob Gibson Wrestling the ball from his hand is not going to be easy unless this game gets out of line on it. Dawson fouls that one off. Count stays 1-2. Slider down and away. The plane on that slider has been too low for much of this game for Gibson. It's had the movement, but it's been out of the zone, low, and not fooling enough hitters. That one's up a bit, but too far outside. Rusty Staub waits on deck. 3-2 pitch coming from Gibson to Dawson. Harper on second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the delivery. Dawson, high fly ball to left. Hit well, not well enough. Langford on the edge of the warning track puts it away. And Gibson, once again, able to get around the trouble. Now, can the Cardinals pose some trouble for Max Scherzer? We head to the top of the 6th. It'll be the top of the order. Smith, Drew, and Hornsby for the Cardinals. They trail 2-0. Here's Ozzie Smith. Smith 1 for 2. He singled back in the 3rd. Scherzer has only needed 54 pitches to get through the first 5. They're coming on short rest. That's exactly what you want to see. Popped up to second. Vidro is there. Puts it away. Dwayne asked, how did Bob do in the regular season with 3 days rest? During the regular season, I am virtually positive they didn't use him on 3 days rest. The regular season mode will kind of stick to through the top 4. It will always stick to the rotation. If Gibson is more rested than the number 5 starter, the number 5 might get skipped a bit. But they're not going to bring him back on short rest during the regular season, and that's not something that the show lets you program. So I can't program them to do a 4-man rotation during the year or whatever. So this was a situation where I posted polls. I really like, and it probably sounds weird, but when I play, and I do play this game sometimes too, but when I'm controlling a team, it's different. But for this is really, the fun of this for me is really almost entirely as an observer. Reporting the game, writing about it, doing these broadcasts about how the league is unfolding, but I'm kind of watching it with you, so I don't control very much. So what I did for this was I set up a poll for followers of the page and people who follow the channel and whatnot, for whether Scherzer or Gibson should come back on 3 days rest or whether they should go with the number 4 starter. And the majority selected for Gibson, and I was a little bit surprised by this one, for Gibson to come back on the short rest and try to finish it off, rather than let Pollitt go and then keep Gibson in the tank for full rest back at Busch for a game 5 if needed. But people wanted him to go and try to close it out here, which I can certainly understand the argument for. I probably would have started Pollitt and saved Gibby for game 5, because it also means that you can definitely, if you win this game, now in order to start him for game 1 of an NLCS, you would have to, as Hornsby grounds out to end the inning. Scherzer continues to cruise here. Cardinals just not getting anything going. Bottom of the 6th, the Expos holding on in the 2-0 lead. These Gibson-Scherzer matchups have both just been outstanding. So you could bring him back for game 1, and that would probably be another poll if the Cardinals end up winning this. But you'd have to bring him back on 3 days rest in order to do that. Staub hits it well to center. Edmonds tracks it down, puts it away for the first out. Dwayne says, I voted for Bob to pitch in game 5. Like I said, that is completely logical thinking. There's nothing wrong. I see both sides of it. I think it was Clue who I was talking with, and we were talking about this the other day, and during the game 3 chat, who was saying, don't mess with it. I'd put him out there on the 3 days rest and try to finish it off. And I understand that, that perspective as well. Scherzer was a bit different. It would have been Scherzer or Steve Rogers, and Rogers had a decent, season. His ERA was right around 4. He won, I think, 13 or 14 games. Steve Rogers is a very solid pitcher, but Scherzer pitched great in Game 1. He's your ace, and now you're playing to keep your season alive. So going with Scherzer made a bit more sense. So I wasn't that surprised that the majority of people wanted to pitch Scherzer. That's probably what I would have done as well. So 1-2 count. Here as Gibson works to a loop. Slide misses inside. Counts 2-2. One down here in the bottom of the 6th. Weak ground ball to short. Ozzie charges. Throws to first. Gets aloof for out number 2. The Cardinals are an outstanding defensive team. Now, the Cardinals got a great draw anyway. They're a real missing piece. And there are certainly plenty. Brock, Ted Simmons, etc. But obviously their real missing piece is Stan Musial. And pitching. They will add Dizzy Dean next year. Dizzy Dean is one of the guys who was taken in their draft to come into the club next year. So Dean will be able to slot in right behind Gibson and give them a bit more of a really strong 1-2 punch. Fastball there, that one at the knees. Gibson rocks and fires to Zimmerman. 2-1 pitch. Up and in. Zimmerman turns it, pulls it foul. Wayne says, my thinking also, you shoot your best bullet, and if you lose, the Expos feel like they got a good chance. Yeah, these are the good debates, and this is the fun of sports, and I feel like baseball just sets itself up for that more than anything else, particularly about the pitching. Fastball goes up high. Gibson blows Zimmerman away to finish the 6th. And that is an angry-looking Bob Gibson coming off the mound. He is fighting like hell to keep the Cardinals in this game and keep the Expos at bay. This is what great pitchers do. Another great duel between Gibson and Scherzer. Gibson bested him in Game 1. Scherzer's had the best of it so far. Top of the 7th, here's Johnny Mize. Mize is 1 for 2. The Cardinals have to start working Scherzer a bit. He's at 64 pitches through 6. This Expos bullpen can be shaky. Mize scalds it right at LaRoche for the first out. Mize hit that one on a rope. Adam LaRoche. I hope that his heart rate slows down a little bit. Here's Jim Edmonds. Edmonds, an exceptional regular season. He is 1 for 12 in this series to this point. Fastball in there for a called strike. Tyler Clippard and Jeff Fassero have started to throw in the bullpen for the Expos. Clippard was not great in Game 3. That is risky managing if you're going to bring Clippard in here. And there's no reason to get Scherzer out of this game at this point. No, he doesn't have Gibson's stamina, I get that. But he's only thrown 67 pitches. I know it's 3 days rest, but Scherzer showing no signs of needing relief. Edmonds pops this one up. Vidro puts it away, and there are 2 outs here in the 7th. The Expos season has been a surprise to say the least. Everyone knew they could pitch. They got a very good draw for their 40-man roster from that Master 100-player pool. They got Scherzer, they got Rogers, they got Strasburg, they got Vasquez, they got Gio Gonzalez. That's a very nice rotation going through Expos history. They got Jeff Reardon to close things out. And the lineup with Harper and Dawson, you knew those 2 guys were going to produce. But basically everyone else in this Expos lineup has produced to the high end of where you would expect them to produce. And that's how they were able to hold on and win the NL East. The other teams in that division, none of them got great offensive draws. They all can pitch. The Phillies, the Mets, the Braves. The Braves got an outstanding pitching draw as Langford flails at the changeup away from Scherzer. Max Scherzer is just plain dealing. 7th inning stretch time. Dave, thank you, sir, for joining, man. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night. And go check out Dave's channel if you get the opportunity. And Gibson is done. So Bob Gibson is being taken out of this game after 6. Kevin Segrist will come in as the first reliever out of the pen.
The first baseman, number 26.
You almost have a feeling that Gibson knew that. He got that big strikeout to wrap up the 6th, but he had a look on his face like an angry man, and you kind of get the feeling that Gibson knew he was coming out. He had been told he'd be coming out after 6. He ended that, punctuated it, and now all he can do is watch. If Bob Gibson pitches again this season, it's going to be in Game 1 of the NLCS. Fastball from Segrist. He gets ahead of LaRoche 1-2. Looks in. Molina sets. Breaking ball well out of the zone. 2-2 to count. There's the pitch. Changeup misses inside. So the count is full. On LaRoche, Wilson Ramos waits on deck. Fastball misses up high, ball 4. We're not going to try to guess what's going on in Bob Gibson's mind, having been taken out of this game and watching the man who relieved him walk the first batter he faces. Here's Wilson Ramos. Fastball misses inside. There's a shot, dribbled foul. You see more bullpen action going out there for the Cardinals. They're going to try to piece their way through these next couple innings and hope the offense can get on the board. If this score holds, the Cardinals' decision for Game 5 is going to be a very interesting one. Max Lanier has been slotted as the number 2 starter. Lanier did not look good in Game 2. Expos won that game 4-1. Howie Pollitt has not started yet in the series. Might you start Pollitt instead of Lanier in that game? I would be inclined to think so. Ramos goes down swinging for the first out. So good job there by Segrist to get Ramos. The order rolls over. Here's Jose Vidro. Vidro is 1 for 3. 1 out, man on first. Fastball in there for a called strike. Vidro 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. There's a shot out in the center, right at Edmonds though. Charges puts it away for out number 2. Again, a reminder, 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, here on the channel, the Oakland A's and the California Angels will meet in Game 3 of the American League Division Series. The A's lead 2-0. They'll try to close that series out. The Angels will try to push it. They got their ace, Andy Messersmith, on the mound against Tim Hudson. Depending on how late work goes tonight, I may try to get a late night broadcast in as well, around 11 or 11:30, which would be Game 4 of the Red Sox-Indians series. But that one is tentative. That depends on work and how I feel at that point in the night and all that. So Segrist bounces back, strikes out Owen. Side is retired. Good job by Segrist here in the 7th. We'll head to the top of the 8th. Cardinals trying to get to Max Scherzer. They haven't been able to do so yet. Here's Ken Boyer. Boyer 0 for 2. He's flown out and popped out. Scherzer has just been dazzling in this one. One hopper to second. Vidro, bit of an in-between hop there. Stays with it, though. Throws Boyer out. There's one away. Bullpen action continues for the Expos. If Scherzer gets through this inning, do you let Scherzer pitch the ninth or do you bring in Jeff Reardon? Interesting to see what the Expos choose to do. But first, he's got to get through this. Fastball misses up high to Ripper Collins. Collins 0 for 2. Scherzer has chewed him up to this point. Fastball misses up and in. Count is 2-0. That is only the 75th pitch that Scherzer has thrown. Fastball in there for a called strike. It's 2-1. There's a shot, and Collins smokes it into center. Sinking liner, but Andre Dawson reads it well, puts it away for out number 2. So Collins roped that one. That's a nice play by Dawson. 2 down. Here's Yadi Molina. Molina 1 for 2. He singled back in the third. Fastball, call, strike there. High in the zone. Scherzer gets ahead 0-1. Scherzer has mixed up his locations. He's mixed up his speeds. Every pitch in his arsenal has been working in this one. 1-1 the count. Molina. Weak line drive to LaRoche. He catches it before it gets to the ground. He touches the base anyway, just in case the ump thought he trapped it. So Max Scherzer is through 8 scoreless. 3 hit ball. Expos come up in the bottom of the 8th. Harper, Dawson, and Staub. Segrist did his job. Now here's Dave Fouts. Fouts 10-2, a 1.94 earned run average. Fouts was a starter. Got hurt early in the season, came back right at the end of the year, was put in the bullpen. First pitch to Harper, misses up and away. Here's the pitch. Harper fouls this one back. That's Rares back and deals. Another one fouled back. Dave Fouts, an old 19th century. He played everywhere, but he's, for our purposes, he's in this game as a pitcher. He was a first baseman. He was an outfielder, too. Harper, high fly ball to right. It's going to stay in the yard, though. Drew's underneath it. Puts it away, and there's one down. Beatles eternally would know about Dave Fouts. Loves his dead ball guys. Here's Andre Dawson. Dawson 0 for 2 with a walk. Beatles eternally, another fine channel to check out if you haven't. Or check out again if you have. 1-0 pitch. Dawson, fly ball to right. Another one hit pretty well. Another one not quite deep enough. Drew puts it away, and there are 2 men down.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Rusty Staub.
So that'll bring up Rusty Staub. Staub is 0 for 3. The Grand Orange, a terrific regular season. He's still looking for his first hit here in this series, though. Fastball off the plate for strike 1. Ball 1, sorry. Don't know what I was thinking there. Said it was off the plate. Still called it a strike. 1-0 pitch. Curve ball there. A lot of bite on that one. 1-1 the count. Fastball away. Staub goes chasing. Counts 1-2. There's the pitch. That looked like a good pitch from Fouts, but it's called the ball. 2-2 the count. Staub line drive, that's down the right field line. That's going to be extra bases. Staub around first, pulls in the second. Drew gets it in, but it's a 2-out double for Rusty Staub. And the Expos once again have a runner in scoring position. Good piece of hitting there by Staub. He just took that one as it came down and in on him. Puts it down the right field line. Such a good professional hitter. So here's Moises Alou, another good professional hitter. He'll try to bring in Staub. Fastball in there for a called strike. Mildly surprised the Expos are not pinch running for Staub here. I admit I don't recall off the top of my head what their pinch running options are. They have Rondell White on the bench. Rondell White wasn't super fast, but he was fast enough. He was faster than Rusty Staub. 1-1 offering. Curveball misses away. There he is. I was just mentioning him. His ears were ringing. Beatles eternally joined us. How are you, sir? Getting here just in time for the end of this one. Another fantastic pitcher's duel between Scherzer and Gibson. Curveball swung on and missed. Fouts retires Alou. Dave Fouts gets the job done out of the bullpen. We head to the top of the ninth. Cardinals down to their final 3 outs here. The Expos 3 outs away from forcing a Game 5. Max Scherzer will start the ninth. 3 days rest. Scherzer's allowed 3 hits over 8. It's the top of the Cardinals order that he'll have to deal with. Ozzie Smith 1 for 3. Jeff Reardon throwing in the bullpen. But for now, this is Scherzer's game. Fastball in there for a called strike. He's ahead of Smith 0-2. Fly ball out to center, right center. Coming on, Harper gets there, puts it away for out number 1. Dan Burke has checked in. How are you, Dan? What's going on? It is the top of the ninth of Game 4. Cardinals down 2-0. Expos trying to force a Game 5. Cardinals looking for a little bit of late magic to end this series. Here's J.D. Drew. Fastball misses up high. Drew is 0 for 3. Fastball just low. There's a shot out into center. That's going to be a base hit. Dawson cuts it off. Drew rounds first, but he'll hold. So the Cardinals will get the tying run of the plate here in the top of the ninth. And that'll bring up Rogers Hornsby. Hornsby has been terrific defensively in this game, and that's going to be it for Max Scherzer. So Max Scherzer on 3 days rest goes 8 1/3, outduels Bob Gibson, also on 3 days rest, and now it's going to be up to Jeff Reardon. Reardon got the save in Game 2. It wasn't overly clean, but it was the save. Reardon will face Hornsby. Hornsby is 0 for 3. Again, he's made several great defensive plays in this game, but now what they really need is for Hornsby to replicate that Game 3 bomb that he put out into those left center bleachers. One and 0 the count. Fastball, high inside strike call. Hornsby turns away, not liking it. He's back in the box, though. There's a pitch. Hornsby, base hit in the left field. So now the Cardinals have 2 men on here in the top of the ninth, and things getting a little dicey here in Montreal. And now here comes Johnny Mize. Mize, an exceptional season. Hornsby will be pinch run for by Tommy Edman, who would represent the tying run. Reardon to Mize. Fastball misses up high. Johnny Mize 1 for 3 today. He is only 2 for 15 in this series. 42 homers during the regular season. Pitch from Reardon. Fly ball to center. Dawson tracking it. It's going back, but it's going to stay in play. Dawson puts it away shy of the track. Drew will not try to tag up. His run means nothing. And now the Cardinals are down to their final out. Jeff Reardon, 1 out away from forcing the Game 5. In relief of Max Scherzer, he'll have to deal with Jim Edmonds. Edmonds, like Mize, terrific during the regular season, has not done much at the plate in this series. First pitch is in there for a strike. Reardon looks in, delivers. Edmonds fouls off a fastball down low, and Reardon now has Edmonds 0-2. Gets the sign from Ramos. Reardon delivers. Fastball swung on and missed by Edmonds, and we're going to have a Game 5 in St. Louis. Max Scherzer on 3 days rest does a terrific job. Outduels Gibson, gets revenge for Gibson outdueling him in Game 1, and there will be a Game 5 at Busch Stadium. We'll see what the pitching matchup is going to be in that one. There you see the final lines. Scherzer 8 1/3, 4 hits, 4 Ks, no runs. Bob Gibson allowed the 2 runs in the first. Danced through trouble a little bit throughout the game. Got a couple of big double plays. Gibson was terrific again. Another great pitcher's duel. Jeff Reardon gets the save, and we'll have Game 5. Thank all of you guys for checking this out. Again, I will be on at 8 o'clock tonight with a premiere video, the Game 3 of the A's-Angels series, as the A's will try to close out the California Angels. Andy Messersmith will go for the Angels to try to keep their season alive. Tim Hudson, 20-game winner, gets the start for the Oakland A's. This was fun. That's a good game. I love the pitchers' duels. I do. I love the pitchers' duels. Yeah, this has been Big Clue knows this is a great series, and yes, this has been. I mean, Scherzer and Gibson. I mean, you don't get much better than that. And both of them have lived up to billing in this one. Yeah, that game will come in right around an hour and a half, Beatles. So yeah, I will definitely be out of that by 10. So that will actually work well. I'll be glad to tune into your broadcast afterwards as well. So there you see the final stats. Bryce Harper with an RBI. It's got things started. That first inning, some bad luck for Gibson there. You know, he kind of fooled Vidro. Vidro takes a check, swing, gets it just through the hole on the right-hand side. He then hits Spike Owen in the foot with a slider. Makes it first and second, and then Ozzie was breaking to cover second. They had Harper played to pull a little bit. He shot it the other way, singled into left, and that first run was all that Scherzer needed. So thank you guys again. Check out Beatles' channel. Check out Bernard Strom Sports Replays. Check out Dwayne's wonderful channel as well. Dan, I apologize. I'm a bit ignorant, but if you do stuff, certainly let me know. I'll check you out too. I admittedly have not. I don't believe I've been to your channel yet, so I apologize if that is the case. I'll be remiss in that, and I'll pop over there to see if you have anything going on as of now. I apologize, but check Dan out anyway, just because he's a nice guy. All right, well, when you do, Dan, we'll all be there. But I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate Dave Little stopping by as well earlier on. Until later on, guys, hopefully we will see you for the game at 8 o'clock. A's and Angels. Enjoy the rest of your day until that point. Have to find time. I hear you, man. I hear you. It is all good. Clue, I thought that's how you spent the main part of your day before this. All right, I'm going to get back and actually try to take care of some work. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully see you at 8. And then for Beatles broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Baseball all day. Gotta love it. Be good, guys. We'll talk to you soon.